It's The Last Stand. And here is your host, Brian Custer.
That's right. It is The Last Stand, where we bring you the biggest names in sports and entertainment and in combat sports. Our guest today is one of the biggest. Former UFC welterweight champion whose reign lasted nearly 3 years. He's now making his debut in the sweet science. He's known as the Chosen One. Tyron Woodley joins us here on The Last Stand. Champ,
how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here, man.
Hey, let me ask you something. When did you make the decision that you said, you know what, I'm going to box and I'm going to do it professionally?
You know what's funny is when I was fighting in Strikeforce, my lawyer actually had put in a contract that I could box because I wanted to box in. So Showtime at that time, they agreed to allow me to box as long as they had approval of the opponent and things of that nature. But we thought it was a good idea for me to focus more on mixed martial arts and not cross over. So when I got to the UFC, it was not really, you know, unless it was the one-time Conor did. Outside that, you really don't see people go outside the UFC contract and fight for different organizations, or definitely not boxing. So something I've always wanted to do is something I wanted to do before I even thought about doing mixed martial arts. And it just came a proper time, a proper place. And I had been thinking my last 2 fights, I was like, man, I really want to box. I don't know if, I always told myself that, you know, in between the contract or whatever, I would box, but I knew I was running out of time. And this opportunity came up and I jumped all over it.
How did this opportunity come about though? How did the fight with Jake Paul come about?
Jake Paul was looking for an opponent. You know, he had fought my teammate Ben Askren. It was the time where I was going in the back and I was actually evaluating his gloves to make sure, you know, he didn't have no foul play. And some of his guys are, you know, trying to get clout. And that's the thing about, you know, I don't like it because I'm old school, but clout is the way that people get followers up. It's the way that I know you, let me take a picture with you, and people think I'm cool because I'm with you. That's the definition of clout. I've always done it the old school way. You know, I've went out there and earned it, worked hard for it, and I don't really care if you know me or not, but you're going to feel me when we get into this ring. So that's what it was. It was some of his guys trying to get clout, and they see that, okay, it's a market for this. Ben's fighting against Jake. These guys haven't fought, you know what I mean, boxing before for real. And they're making way more money than what I ever made, so let me try to put my name in a hat by doing this BS. And that's kind of what took place, and I just kind of brushed it off because at the end of the day, I told him, I said, I don't play games. I don't know if you know about me. I really get down. I don't play games. I don't do this type of stuff. And I let it be known at that time that you can do whatever you want, but I'm not the one, you know, because I'm going to take everything serious. I'm going to go crazy with it. And people saw that, and they didn't like the way that they were being disrespectful. And then people were like, nah, we want to see Tyron fight him. And then it started going crazy. And then Ben said, you know, who do you want to fight? Who do you think you should fight next? And Ben was like, I think Tyron should fight him. And I was looking like, all right, I'm in. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started. And then from that point, when he signed the dotted line, it was already war. It's nothing more you can do. Like you say, okay, I'm going to go to war and I'm going to take it easy on my enemy. Yeah. No, it's kill, kill, kill. And that's what I was already thinking. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed.
How does this in a pay-per-view fight compare to the build-up of a UFC type fight?
I mean, it's a movie. It's a whole movie. It's a whole thing. It's a whole deal. Everything from the promotion, it's been done in a way where I can really honestly say that it's been very thoughtful on the. We still have to train. We still have to sleep, but they've gotten as much juice out of the fruit as they could, as far as like pushing it out there in the media, and everything was scheduled. Like some of these pictures and stuff that you guys are just saying, we took them months ago, you know what I mean? But they just really had a strategy on boom, 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 boom. And it's like the final finale of the fireworks on the 4th that you thought it was over with. Right when you thought it was over with, doom, 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 more fireworks come out. So that's the best way I can explain it. It's been a journey, it's been a ride. Like I really think, you know, I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking because my sister told me sometimes you speak things out and people take your damn idea and they run with it. But I just had a fire-ass idea for this, but it's been a movie. Yeah. It's been great.
And at the press conference, it seemed like, yo, that thing kind of got heated after a while, and you were really upset. Explain to us what happened. Someone say
first, I was just annoyed. I'm glad I brought my sunglasses because to hear people say what they think everybody want to hear them say, to me, it's always been corny. And as a man, the worst thing a woman, a man, or anything, if I can say it, is you corny. Nobody want to be called corny as a man. And that's all it was. It was just clout chasing corniness. And it was just a situation where I was like, oh my God, I can't even take it no more. And then, some disrespectful things took place. I just feel like certain things are off limit when you're building a fight.
Yeah.
And some of those things took place. And, I told him a long time ago when in their locker room, I don't play those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hopefully they understand that, this fight is one thing. Money is another thing. But when it comes down to flesh and blood, I'll draw it if it comes down to it.
Yeah. At our press conference in LA, you said, and I had it written down, quote, easiest fight of my career, biggest purse of my career, all in one night. Basically, they brought me in here to take the trash out. Can't wait to shut this bitch up. This is getting done for the culture, the whole MMA boxing community, to rid this guy of combat sports.
When was that?
That was in LA.
Remember what I told you? I just said I already was at 10.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt then. That's the same way I feel now. There's nothing that transpired in the press conference that make me feel more of a way. There's nothing that happens in training that he said or posted or meme or did whatever. I was already there at that point. That was in June, July maybe. And now we're in August at the end of it. And, I feel the same way. I feel like, we need to just shut people up that haven't been through the fire, that want the spoils. He wants the spoils of the culture. I am culture. They rap about what I lived. And you think you're gonna walk around with some VVS necklaces and shirt off and and you gonna zap what I lived through? No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna get hurt. That's what's gonna happen.
Who do you think's got more pressure on them in this fight? I mean, because he's talked a lot of stuff. There's so many people who, let's be honest, want to see him get knocked out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the boxing MMA community like, yo, Tyron, you got to stop this guy. Is it you? Is it him? Who's got the more pressure?
I feel like I could have adopted that pressure. I could have said, okay, I got you. Oh my God, everybody banking on me. I could have done that, but I didn't. He has the pressure. He's in Cleveland. That sounds cute to fight in your hometown. He's never done it before. I have. With all those tickets, everybody want tickets, you in the comfort of your own. And sometimes it's good to be uncomfortable in a weird environment. You know what I mean? I was jogging today, and I was jogging by the water, and I was just thinking, peace, peace, be still, peace, be still. This ain't my battle, it's the Lord's. And I was running, I seen the stop sign, but then I seen green lines as we was running. I'm like, I'm running through the stop sign, and I'm picking it up when I was getting tired. I saw a hill, I'm like, Coach, you don't need to do no hills, we in shape, let's look flat. And then he looked at me, and he didn't have to say nothing, and we started sprinting up the hill. That mentality is different. So I don't have the pressure, you know what I mean? I don't have the pressure to show people that I belong. People know I belong. My life is shown that I belong, you know what I mean? He has a pressure of proving people wrong, that he belongs in the sport, that he's a true contender, that this boxing thing is not a bucket list. He has a pressure of doing it in front of his hometown fans. He has a pressure of all the requests that are gonna come in, you know what I mean? And he hasn't even been in the ring enough minutes to claim experience.
Yeah.
He can't. You know what I mean? And I got to worry about what? A right hand and a jab, a right hand and a jab? He don't know what the hell he got to worry about. He's never been in there with somebody like me, ever.
Do you think with a victory, it puts an end to this YouTube boxing thing?
I mean, the thing about it is the YouTube boxing thing is a thing, but this is a fight. This ain't that.
Right.
He just so happened to be a YouTuber in Disney first, and I just so happened to be a mixed martial artist first. But if you guys see, this is a fight. It's going to look like a fight. It's not going to look like, oh, this guy is just, why are we watching this? It's going to like, no, these motherfuckers fighting. And when I go out there and I devastatingly just hurt him in a way that I do, everybody's going to be like, I want to see him do it again.
Wow.
And that's what I feel.
You think you beat him, he'll say, okay,
When?
I got to exercise that rematch clause. When you beat him, I got to exercise that rematch clause.
I don't feel nothing. I feel like I move when God tell me to move. If you want that noise again, he can get it again. We can take a deep breath, go in the back, get the little smell and salt. We can do it again that day. I'm not gonna say no if I'm fighting a person that I feel so strongly that I'm prepared to fight and I beat him, and you're gonna give me another chance to go back and sharpen up even more and add new tools, and you think you couldn't do it the first time, you're gonna do it the second time? Sign me up.
You said biggest payday of your career. I almost like, well, no, you got to be kidding.
Yeah.
UFC?
I mean, I made money in UFC. I've been on some record-breaking pay-per-views. Fought the first fight, Madison Square Garden. I was a fight of the night on the biggest card they've ever had. They'll never have a card like that again.
But this is still the biggest payday.
I wouldn't say it's the biggest upfront money. That's what I would say. But I've been paid I was paid well. I could, like everybody, we can always get paid more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I felt like the UFC I was worth more than what I got paid a few times, but also it was some times that I got paid more than maybe I was worth at the time comparative, to what I did. So I don't like to be like the woe is me.
Okay.
God got everything under control, and if I didn't make it there, it's gonna be double for my trouble. I'm gonna make it up now.
Because Dana White, I guess, must have saw that, and his reply to Tyron Woodley was, quote, bullshit.
I mean, Dana, blessings to you, my man. You built the empire. I'm thankful that you allowed me to compete on it, to show the world my talents that God gave me. I was a world champion for many years. I did it in a way that nobody did it before. I beat the #1 contenders, a specialist. I did it for 3 years straight. I'm one of two. Me and John Jones are the only people that defended the belt 4 times in less than a calendar year. So I'm thankful to you. I don't have no smoke with him.
Last one on Dana White. His quote, Tyron Woodley is 40 years old, hasn't won a fight in 3 years, and this is something that's actually, this is talking about UFC, it's something he's actually supposed to be good at. Please. Yeah. He's just trying to sell a fight and make some money. Your thoughts on it?
I mean, I just feel like at the end of the day, when you secure what you do, you don't have to say much. I mean, this fight is a threat. How many times have you heard the UFC market the biggest pay-per-view of the year? Never. When Conor fought Dustin Poirier for the 3rd time, the biggest pay-per-view of the year. You know why? Because this is the biggest pay-per-view of the year. And everybody not going to like your success. And I can't make him like what I'm doing. I can't make him respect me. When you think about it, I'm representing them to a certain degree. They should be supporting me. They should have my back. They should be riding. They should be trying to co-promote. They should have really put the engines behind it. But at the end of the day, I can't force what I think they should do. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't have no smoke with nobody. I'm going out here to do my thing. And I don't see the naysayers. I don't know where they at. I don't know their name. I don't know their number. They don't eat off of my purse. I don't have to provide for them. I don't have to change their diaper. So I'm focusing on the people that are really there, that really supporting and believing in me, and also, some people that are actually wanting me to win. My kids need me to win. Yeah. You know what I mean, for their future. So I don't have a lot to say about that.
What's your end goal in boxing?
I want a belt, man. I don't ever do nothing. MMA, I got into it at 23. I wasn't a young MMA fighter. I got into wrestling to be an NCAA champion, Olympic gold medalist. I didn't get that. Then I got into MMA to be the best ever. I was a world champion multiple times, but I never felt like I was the best ever. It's my last time in the sport to really maximize and get to that top, and finish the way God showed me. So I'm not here for one fight against Jake. I'm here to show people that this fight against Jake is going to introduce you. I am here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm about to put hands on a lot of people, and I'm going to get a belt. Watch what I tell you. It's going to be surprising to many, but ask Bernard Hopkins how you feel about that.
And listen, I asked Jake the same thing. If you lose this fight, will you fight again in boxing?
I'm not going to lose this fight, and that's all I got to say.
Love it. You trained with Floyd give me the best piece of advice Floyd gave you.
Composure. MMA is a lot of rah-rah. We do a lot of wasted motion, a lot of over-exaggerative slips and bounces, and we take ourselves out of position sometimes to counter and see. Anticipation. You don't have to anticipate. When you train and you train body language and you train to see punches and feel, you only move when you see it. You don't have to do 1-2, roll 2, 2-2. It may not be a hook coming while you roll for it. So that's the thing that I think is most important. And just knowledge. He don't like to talk about a lot of stuff we train, and that makes sense. These guys have not been able to defeat him, not because he's going out and writing books and doing seminars and online academies about his entire system. He keeps his corner close, and I'm glad that the whole squad has adopted me, and I'm in there now. So now I'll be able to be blessed with that instruction, that training, not only just for this fight, but many, many fights to come.
MMA trainer Faraz Sahabi said this, quote, I hate to say this, but I definitely think Jake Paul will definitely be on PEDs. I don't think Tyron will be on PEDs. I think Tyron will be totally natural. But does it make a difference? It absolutely does, end quote. What do you think?
He had some weird acne on his face in LA when I saw it. And he looked a lot bigger as the press conference went through. And I looked a lot leaner. And I've always had thoughts that he was, and just think about the pressure and anxiety, and if it was somebody that was a cardio athlete, you would try to run more than them. If it's somebody that was, more skilled and technical, you bring in the most skill. But if somebody that's known for hitting people one time and it's a wrap, power, explosion, something I was born with, I feel like the only way you can make that up is injection or peel or whatever. So I'm not gonna say the claim that I think that, but I've always thought that, I've fought a lot of guys that's been on PEDs, and I saw some weird acne on his face that wasn't just like adolescent acne, and it kind of made me be like, But that tells me that he thinks I'm better than him. I'm superior to him if he took that. And when you swing big and you macho and you miss big and you get lit up, I don't know if you made your face and jawline bigger, but it also made it a bigger target for me to touch and put you down.
I remember at the press conference, one of the biggest things that came out of it was the bet thing.
Yeah.
Loser had to get the other one's name tattooed and do it live on Instagram. Will y'all stick to that?
I mean, that don't even apply to me.
Yeah. And so like you said, when you win,
I don't. To be honest, I don't even care if he gets it.
Yeah.
That was his bet. I just got tired of him trying to be in the driver's seat. He's betting to deflect nervousness. That's his security blanket. He's betting. He's distracting. We're fighting, motherfucker. I don't care what necklace and watch you got on. I don't care if you fucking want to bet me to 10 burpees if I don't do this. Nah, he's distracting himself. He's scared. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Sometimes fear and scare makes you, I got to do this so he don't do it to me. But I'm going to do it to him all night long. Pause. You already know I'm not talking about that because you know how the memes be. People be taking out the little one piece and they miss the whole message. Right. But yeah, I'm literally at grips with the fact that he's scared. Yeah. And he's doing these things, the tattoo bet and the $2 million bet and all this other stuff. Like, it's all a part of the show, and I just did not subscribe to the show.
Yeah. How does this training compare to UFC training? Because you guys go through a lot.
We go through a lot. We actually run out of time to actually get it all in. When you think about trying to rest, recover, you know what I mean? All these different ballistic training sessions, strength and conditioning, flipping tires, running, sprinting, vertical climbing, long road work, boxing sparring, Muay Thai sparring, MMA sparring, grapple boxing where you take the headgear off and you punch 20%. Most people still be punching 100. MMA people meet heads. And then we go on the ground as full wrestling, full jiu-jitsu. And then you think about your body being here for a while, and then now you stretched out in guards and flipping, and somebody's trying to stretch you out. And then after that, you go and wrestle, your neck's still sore from when you was fighting the triangle choke, your arm's still sore from you boxing, and now you're trying to lift weights. Yeah. And we rah through it. Boxing has showed me a different way, you know what I mean?
Tyron Woodley, Hall of Famer?
All day. Before this, I was.
Yeah. For everybody who watches and listens to this podcast, we allow them to submit questions. We got a number of them for it. Right. Only picked out the best ones here on Twitter. First one, Dominic from Twitter says, will the MMA ever get the Ali Act, you think?
Whew, tough to say.
Yeah.
The only thing about MMA is that we're divided from the start. We're taught to talk shit about each other. Press conference, we go crazy on each other. Twitter, the way we get a fight is really reducing somebody as much as possible. So how are we gonna now hold hands, lock, and kumbaya?
Yeah.
No, it's very difficult. People are so excited to be Dana White's best friend. He called me and boss, and gave me a bonus and all this other stuff. So many fighters can't afford to take off the time that it would take to stand up. The fighters at the top, like, shit, no, I'm at the top now. I don't know when I'm gonna get this chance again. And I'm making money now. Y'all should have did that when I was broke. You know what I mean? So you really would have to have a fighter that's making above medium money that got another bag in his back pocket and say, no, I'm willing to sit down for what I believe in. That's only one category. The people that are making $16,000 to fight on TV, they can't afford to do that. They fight 3 times a year. You know what I mean? They're not making enough money.
Justin from Twitter, same thing, kind of what you already answered. He says, regardless of the outcome against Jake Paul, when it comes to boxing, will you continue to fight world-class opponents?
I will win this fight in dominant fashion, and people will look at me like, man, he may have a chance at a world title, and I'm going to be put in a position where I can prove it.
Last one here from Twitter, it says, how do you keep going despite the recent setbacks? Barring the paycheck, what motivates you?
I mean, the paycheck never motivated me. It was nice. Maybe it was more the appreciation that I felt like my value was actually respected. The motivation for me is greatness. God showed me, he showed me in my exit and the revelation of my career was going to be very similar to the beginning of it. And I did not see that in those last lessons I learned. So now this is the route. I don't sweat the technique. I thought it would have been in mixed martial arts, but it sounds like it's going to be in boxing.
Ty, last segment of this show is called The Last Stand. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. You
Okay.
ready? Here we go. First thing comes to your mind when I say Jake Paul.
Toast.
First thing comes to your mind when I say Dana White.
Indifferent.
First thing that comes to your mind when I say Colby Covington.
Goofy.
Toughest fight in your MMA career.
Nathan Coy.
Biggest puncher you've ever faced.
Robbie Lawler.
Biggest win you're most proud of.
Darren Till.
And face of the UFC is who?
Right now? Damn. I don't even know. My bad.
The GOAT of the UFC is who?
Anderson Silva.
Here we go. Tyron Woodley.
Boom.
It's been a pleasure, my brother.
Pleasure's mine.
I love that we're going to see you in boxing now here going forward.
We'll be seeing a lot of each other.
That's hot. That's what we do here on The Last Stand. We bring you the biggest names in sports, like the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.